Thus, the Imperator concluded her final speech at the end of her life. At the last moment before she stepped onto the altar, she gave her most loyal subject the choice to decide fate, just as she promised her compatriots before her very first campaign.
My blood flows in you now. Heroic compatriots, follow me, and we'll seize fate's reins!
The Imperator fell. Some say that the Dux Gladiorum turned traitor and killed her liege. Some say that she imprisoned the tyrant in a shallow pond of water, then left. Which meant the Imperator had to kill herself to rewrite the law. There are countless stories about her death. All we can be sure of is when the knight left the vortex, the Imperator was still mumbling about their past conquests together, the beginning and the end of her existence.
Imperator, wait! How could someone of your status come to the front lines? Let me be the flag bearer!
The troops defending the pass to the west of the grove, have they surrendered?
They ran as quickly as they could when they heard your name. The Golden Cocoon Pass is now in the First Legion's hands.
Good. What about the Delosian militia?
The Third Legion set fire to the mountains and flattened everything west of the basin. They just need a few more days.
That is enough. We cannot afford to miss an opportunity for victory. Lastly, how many Ladonian cannons are left?
They are no more. The Second and Fourth Legions have destroyed them all.
Very good. They now have no way out, no reinforcements, and no artillery support. We will be able to liberate the Grove of Epiphany in the blink of an eye. We will launch the final charge 1 quint after the curtain fall hour tomorrow. Remember, as long as the Alliance's flag still flies on my shoulders, you must keep moving forward. Take no prisoners among the enemy's soldiers. All sages who resist are to be captured and tried according to martial law. And do not destroy any books. Now go! Notify the entire army!
Understood! Those who are resolved to die, we salute you.
Reporting in. The mountain dwellers are resisting fiercely, and the legendary Mountain Breaker has personally engaged in battle. Their formations are nigh impenetrable.
Then cease our frontal assault. Send scouts to all legions and tell them to retreat into the Tritos Plains before the parting hour.
What? Are you planning to surrender?
It's a strategic change of plans. The seismic walking dragon is enough for that battlefield.
Walking dragon? You mean that stupid beast, Terravox? What can they even do?
Stupid? No. They are the wisest of all of Georgios' creations. Only they can perceive the currents of time. Let them deal with their earthly brethren. We will advance and take the lead in defeating what remains of our enemy. I will deliver the most fiery retribution for the humiliation they dealt us, and crown myself with a god-slaying wreath.
Understood. I'll see to it. Those who are resolved to die, we salute you.
The Temple of the Three Fates sent a letter, Imperator.
They refused to surrender, and said this letter is their last warning to us.
Tell the commanding officers not to launch any attacks unless they receive the Imperator's handwritten approval. Disobedience will be punished by death.
What are you doing?
The priests of the Three Fates aren't soldiers, but politicians. Do not mistakenly believe they don't have a plan. These dying pests will wring out every idea from their brains, all for short-sighted gain. They are much shrewder than we are. I am inferior to them in that regard. They also have the prophecy to wield as a weapon, something I am not blessed with. Launching an unplanned attack will only disadvantage us, as all of Emphorius will judge our actions. Which means I will be heading to the battlefield myself, just as I have always done. This time, however, I will go alone. I will conduct secret negotiations to ensure fate is on our side.
Understood. The legions will make their preparations. Those who are resolved to die, we salute you.
Why are we not allowed to march out with the army, Imperator?
This will be a long voyage with no return. Those of you who bear the prophecy cannot come with me.
Why are you personally leading this battle if it's doomed to fail? The Flame Chase journey cannot be without a leader.
That is correct. The Empire will be without a head when the Imperator falls. But remember, as long as you seize the right opportunities, even a chaotic game will remain winnable. My departure will create a long staircase for you. You will understand what I mean when news of my death reaches your ears.
Saridra, is our journey about to be over?
Destroy the old laws and forge new ones. My conquest has reached its limits within the borders of Amphorius. Since the prophecy already decreed that the Imperator would never conquer the stars as she wished, I will bow out here and try no more. More Chrysos heirs bearing divine authority will be born, and many more heroes will arise. Will they demand peace or war? Will they resist tyranny or become the next Imperator? I do not care. The children of the future will decide for themselves. Do not mourn for me. Anyone can kill the Imperator. But the only one who can truly destroy her is Saridra.
At the end, I faithfully recorded the most important battles in the Imperator's life. Her conquest was about to be completed at this point in the story. However, for some reason, a memory suddenly entered my mind just as I was about to put down my pen. It was a journey on a fantastical train. I had the honor of having a heart-to-heart conversation with the Imperator under the stars. And I asked her this question at the end of that discussion. How do you want history to remember you? As a hero who gave up her life for the Flame Chase? Or as a tyrant? She answered so quickly, as if she had made up her mind long ago.
I would rather be forgotten than be defined. Because the law can be neither eternal nor unchallenged. And only humanity can pen laws into history's pages. Now, I have shattered the greatest law of Amphorius. The game is nearing its end. Dux Gladiorum. Even though you killed the Imperator in the previous 30 million cycles, this time you finally found your own law. Then High Sealants, Electra. I will ask someone to deliver the prophecy's ocean at the boundaries of this world to you. Will you choose to swim into that ocean? I do not care. Do not care.
The Imperator muttered about her conquests, and news of her death spread in the city.
Freedom! Liberty! The tyrant is dead! Go! Shout this news in the streets!
My people, my fellow elders, do not panic. Stand your ground. That usurper has paid for her ambition with her life.
People once cheered for my ascension. And now they cheer for my fall. No matter. I am fond of applause. I see the cosmos, the battlefield that I cannot reach. I will return in the next cycle. The stars will hear my legion's war drums. Hear the great name of the Imperator. Hear Florius's Serid.
To this day, we do not know which rule the Imperator overwrote at the cost of her life. Perhaps the truth will only be revealed at the moment of checkmate. Just like every chess game she ever played, we only know her death inflamed Akama. On one side of the city, those who defended liberty toppled her statues to the ground. On the other side, her supporters put themselves between the masses and her monuments, declaring loudly that the Sovereign is still among the people. It is said that golden blood congealed into the same letters everywhere they fought. It was the name borne by Akama's first and final sovereign, the Imperator Seridra. But the one who bore that name did not see any of this. Her gaze was cast far away, and the sound of tides in her ears drowned out the people's cries. What was the Imperator thinking about in that prophesized ocean at the boundaries of this world? In that shallow puddle of stagnant water, was she reminiscing about her past conquests? Or repenting for the millions killed for the flame chase? It was neither. The Imperator only saw how the surface of the water gleamed like that crude chessboard, dissected by light and shadow in the afternoon when her teacher played against her for the first time.
Look at this chessboard. What do the pieces look like?
They are strangely beautiful. They look like the stars in the night sky ablaze.
From that page emerged an ocean so vast, so pure, not a single trace of corruption. Is this Seridra?
Electra, my subject. Ever since you walked out of the tainted ocean and pledged yourself to me, I have seen the abyss in your eyes and the emptiness in your heart. That was why I promised you a new ocean, where the Imperator's ambitions would serve as the currents, and loyalty would be its light. Electra, my subject. You have done your duty as my blade. The prophecy has now made its final decree on the road I intend to walk. My conquest is doomed to never reach the stars. But the Imperator never makes empty promises. So take this memory, this ocean, beyond the sky, as witnessed by the Deliverer. This is the final gift that the Imperator can leave for her subject.
When I was still a fish in the ocean, I always felt so genuine swimming through the waters. But once I stepped onto land, I found myself caught in a play. Every land dweller wore a mask in their life. So I, too, donned a costume and tried to find my role in this show. I became your blade in war and the violin strings at banquets. Do you still not get it? I do not long for the oceanic depths of my homeland, nor do I crave the swelling seas beyond the sky. Perhaps even I don't know what I want. I still don't know where I should swim to even at the end, but I know one thing right now. A fish is simply a fish. And she can never leave the ocean she's in. But whether under the ocean or on land, we two prisoners who can never escape this cave can still look outside the cave and see the stars.
I have to admit, the 12-factor simulation of life in this experiment has far exceeded my expectations.
Make your choice then, Senior Society member. Do you want to keep walking down the wrong path and be remembered for your incorrect conclusions? Or do you want to return to the audience's seat and give yourself, Amphorius, and the entire cosmos a more fitting end?
I must refuse. A dead man never fears death.
Did I not make myself clear? Have you forgotten about our dear Lord of Silence? You wouldn't want her to consider your 8 other clones as cancers within the erudition and chop them all up, would you?
Your logical deductions are vastly different from mine. Therefore, allow me to provide one more academic recommendation. Listen, my peers. Why don't you look beyond this world? Just as the Chrysos heirs did. Re-evaluate your calculations and take into account all enemies in the upcoming war among the eons. Amphorius is not a place where 3 paths entangle, but where 3 paths fight to the death. You used Memoria to resist me, but did you not consider the possibility that the Remembrance and their children might have taken this opportunity to join the fray as well?
Oh, so this isn't just silence. It's the answer. What was the last thing she said to you before you parted the waters at the Scale Gorge waterscape? A tricky question, but one with a simple answer. She didn't say anything back then, right?
That's correct. And now I'm sure. You are not March 7th. There's no way she would remember that detail. I'll only warn you once. Leave her body now.
How impulsive. That's not like you at all. Why don't you calm down and think about another possibility? I didn't take over March 7th's body. Rather, it's March 7th who regained my memories.
Back then, the tides of the Chrysos War had not yet engulfed this city-state of Talantin, and the young princess inside the gates once loved to roam without worries. She snuck into forbidden grounds while the servants were away, but was shocked by what she saw on that day. A chessboard, a stack of pieces, and a strange woman. The board dissected by daylight and shadow, the pieces polished from rough stones uneven.
Fancy a game? If you are my match, then I'll call you my friend.
The stranger's voice was husky and coarse.
If you can beat me, then I'll call you my teacher,
the princess proudly retorted. Despite the bravado, the princess had never touched chess. The defeat made her study in earnest, acknowledging the other as a teacher. First, she learned the knights, bishops, rooks, and queen. Then, how to defend, attack, capture, and checkmate.
I have learned all there is to learn.
Barely out of childhood, the princess raced into games of chess. Those who looked down on her faced many losses. Those who glorified themselves forfeited in a mess. At her prime, none could rival her at all. But she still recalled what the stranger said.
My origins bring dark omens, so never tell others where your teacher is from.
Then the waves of the Chrysos War washed over the world. The Achaemens welcomed a ruler. She was deemed Imperator and loved to play chess with herself. She regarded all things as pieces, whether Chrysos heirs or Titans magnificent. Before every god-slaying campaign, she thought of the stranger from her childhood, as if that woman had always lived in her mind.
Isn't it lonely to play chess against yourself?
The princess did not understand at the time, but now, she who bore the crown finally realized. The flame chase's beginning was like fuel being tossed onto the fire. And in the unending road of marching banners and war cries, she finally had time to meditate. There were often jesters behind the king, curious about her past in her old city, lost to time. One claimed the Imperator was cruel, executing her own teacher. Another stated the Imperator was biased, learning from an enemy hostage.